Hey guys, it's King Egbert here, and today I want to talk to you about an issue that's very, very, very important to me because I am extremely furious about how horrible public bathrooms are designed these days. And not just bathrooms, but how sinks and soap dispensers and toilets and paper towel dispensers and even stuff like hand sanitizer dispensers, they are designed so horribly. So today we, the Angry Birds family, are going to list all of our complaints about why public restroom design is so horrible and how to fix it, and not just fix that, but obviously the facilities I just mentioned: sink, toilet, soap dispenser, paper towel dispenser, hand sanitizer, etc. So start us off, Bomb. Alright, so first of all, automatic sinks are so bad. Like, I hate them. Like, and this, like, first of all, like, there's never any temperature regulation ever on automatic sinks. It's always just pouring out burning hot water, never cold water, ever. Normal people wash their hands with cold water only, but automatic sinks always put out burning hot water, and people's hands get covered in scabs because of how scorching and burning it is. And even when the sinks are not automatic, one problem public restroom sinks especially have with sinks, whether they're manual or automatic, is that the water in the sinks always comes out either as tiny string-like trickles, or it comes out as one, little slightly thicker trickle. A proper sink is supposed to have a super thick blast of water, lots of water coming out, with temperature regulation. A valve, a proper lever valve for cold water and another for hot water, and we just don't see that with public restrooms. And also, they design the sinks in a disgusting way with the basin. Like, for example, they don't put enough distance between the bottom of the basin and the sink faucet, which means that often your hands end up constantly touching the bottom of the sink. And because people are disgusting and don't get face consequences for doing this, people are constantly spitting, shooting out boogers, spitting out massive food chunks in the sink, and vomiting in the sink. And we're forced to wash our hands and accidentally touch that all the time. Disgusting. And also, I've even seen a weird problem on sinks where some sinks are designed where the faucet isn't long enough, so you end up touching the side of the basin all the time when you wash your hands. A proper sink should have the faucet long enough so that's directly above the basin, so your hands aren't touching the side of the basin, and there should be enough distance between the basin and the faucet so that when you're washing your hands, you're not touching the bottom of the basin either. And also, the sinks ideally should be tall enough that adults can use them comfortably, because I've seen sinks in some public places being too short. So they should be tall, and if kids can't use them, put a staircase. Don't put a stool. A stool is dangerous. Put a miniature staircase for kids to use to climb up to wash the sinks. Alright, and now let's talk about how horrible soap dispensers are. They keep putting these horrible automatic soap dispensers, which, it takes you like an hour to get the proper amount of soap you need to actually wash your hands. And even when the soap dispensers are, whether they're manual or automatic, the soap that comes out is so horrible. The texture is horrible, and the smell is horrible. Sometimes I'll see soap coming out of a soap dispenser, whether manual or automatic, that it's foamy, but it smells like armpits and private areas. Or sometimes, in one place I went to, the soap was so thick. It was normal texture soap, but it was so thick it felt like frozen jello when it was coming out, and you couldn't use it. Basically, it was basically unusable. It was basically a solid inside the soap dispenser. And obviously I'm against bar soap. Bar soap is horrible and we should never have that. But yeah, and even in places like Olive Garden, I see this weird thing where they have a normal manual soap dispenser, but for some reason, the soap dispenser handle is like right on the basin of the sink. Like, what's up with that? Like, who are the stupid people designing these sinks, bro? Oh my god. And these soap dispensers, unbelievable. Crazy. So we just need normal soap with good enough texture. And also it should be illegal for places to put water in soap. Like, sometimes when soap runs low, some cheap-ass places will put water in it. But the problem is, that doesn't give you more soap. That just makes the soap less effective. Which means you have to use a lot more soap to get the same result. So what I like to do is, when I see that happening, I like to use all of the soap when I see water to punish the owners for daring to put water in the soap. So yeah, the soap should be normal. It should have, it should smell great and it should feel great. And now I want to talk about paper towel dispensers. So first of all, they keep putting these horrible automatic paper towel dispensers, which just make you waste time. Or, even worse, they don't put paper towel dispensers at all. They put blow dryers. Blow dryers suck. It takes forever to dry your hands, and they still don't do it. They don't dry your hands at all. And they're creepy as fuck, am I right? They're so creepy. It's just so creepy to have to put your hands under it, and you get this weird, unnatural blow with, like, blue light, and it's weird. But even with paper towel dispensers, regardless of whether paper towel dispensers get designed to be manual or automatic, they always put out these horrible brown paper towels. These brown paper towels have horrible texture, and when you're drying them, like you're drying something like glasses on them, for example, or something like that, they just make the thing dirty, or you just see the brown stuff everywhere and it interferes with stuff like vision and stuff. So it's just really bad. The best paper towels are white paper towels. We need white paper towels. And by the way, this is not racist. I am not saying, for people who are gonna call me racist for saying that we should have white paper towels instead of brown paper towels, you're stupid, okay? This has nothing to do with race at all. But there are some libtards that for some reason will say that it's racist, apparently, to want white paper towels. No! White paper towels are necessary because they just have better texture, they're not as rough and coarse, and white paper towels don't make as much of a mess when you dry stuff with them. They're just much better, and they also look better too. But yeah, otherwise, I don't mind us also having, like, normal towels sometimes if we have a lot of them. But I know people take those and steal them all the time and get them dirty and wipe boogers on them or something. So that's just horrible. And also, like, what about automatic toilets? Like, guys, I hate automatic toilets. First of all, when I was a little kid, I used to be terrified of automatic toilets because every time they would flush, it would sound like a giant roaring tiger, and it was unpredictable how much when the toilets would flush. So it was traumatizing to use an automatic toilet. But automatic toilets toilets are honestly just super, super dumb. Like, we should have freedom of choice when flushing. We shouldn't have some crazy ass scary sensor machine dictating when we should flush. We should be able to flush ourselves with our feet or our hands. But if we're gonna do it with our hands, we should have proper sinks and soap dispensers and paper towel dispensers so that we can safely and comfortably wash our hands after using them. But automatic toilets are just such a stupid idea, really. I really don't like them. I don't like seeing automatic sitting toilets, and I don't like seeing automatic urinals either. We should just have normal flush toilets, and I mean flush toilets because I've seen scary people inventing scary stuff like incinerator toilets or freezing toilets or squatting flush toilets instead of sitting flush toilets, and I believe that anyone who would invent something like an incinerator toilet or a freezing toilet deserves capital punishment. And I think everyone would agree that they deserve capital punishment. But yeah, guys, and I one time saw a guy claiming that if you're ever in a dangerous situation in a bathroom, put your legs on a toilet and limit your movements so you don't trigger the automatic flush. And it's like, how about you just not put an automatic flush in the first place, bro? And also, I also mentioned automatic, hand sanitizer dispensers, which also suck for the same reasons that automatic soap dispensers do. It takes you an hour to get the proper amount of hand sanitizer you need after waving your hand all the time. And also, the hand sanitizer, just like the soap often, it smells horrible. It smells like genitals and armpits. And also, it has horrible texture. It's sometimes like way too foamy or something. Like, why can't we just have great, nice smelling hand sanitizer? Am I right, people? Yeah, and I would like to say that this doesn't just apply to, facilities and public restrooms. It also applies even to places like kitchens and homes. For example, I one time saw a McDonald's kitchen, and it was so horrible. There was a sink. It was a manual sink, but there was only one lever, and it put out warm water instead of hot water, instead of cold water. It put out warm water. Like, bro, that should be an OSHA violation because, bro, what if you have an open wound or something? You need cold water, not warm water. Or what if you need to wash your eyes or something? If you need to wash your eyes, you need cold water, not hot or warm water either. Although McDonald's did say they have eye wash, to be fair, but still, like maybe like have cold water out of a sink, if any. But yeah, another problem with sink levers is too, one time I went to some public restrooms in gas stations and at schools, and bro, like, they have these weird things where there's like two sink valves, one for hot water and one for cold water, and the valves, instead of them being levers, they were these weird things that you had to turn, and it was so hard to turn them. It was so hard. It was unbelievable. It was so painful. Like, oh my god. And then obviously at the McDonald's place we mentioned, they had a horrible soap dispenser too in the kitchen. I think it was maybe like, it might have been automatic, but the soap was horrible quality. And of course, they had a manual paper towel dispenser, but it was the horrible brown paper towels instead of the white ones, which sucks. It's so horrible. And another thing we should mention too is we should mention that also I don't mind having automatic water bottle refilling stations as long as there's redundancy. So, a very big refilling station with a lot of distance between where the water comes out and where you rest your water bottle. A lot of distance that automatically does it, and also a button to press in case the automatic fails. So you have double, manual or automatic. So that's the only so when it comes to water bottle refilling, that's the only place where I'm willing to tolerate it being automatic. However, I do not tolerate it when it comes automatic, when it comes to drinking water out of a water fountain, where it's automatic. And also another problem with water fountains where you drink, not where you refill the bottle, where you drink with your mouth. Another problem, even when they're not automatic. One time there was like when I was a kid in school, there was like these water fountains manual, but the valves, again, they were so hard to push. It was so painful. They were like stuck. They never pushed. And even then, the water that comes out of the water fountain, it never comes out as a big nice trickle shooting up in the air, or a nice big blast, I should say. It should be a blast, not a trickle, shooting up in the air. Instead, the water would trickle down across the water fountain valve, which means that if you want to drink from it, you would have to put your mouth literally on the valve, and it would still be a tiny amount of water, and you would taste the other people's mouths, which is gross. Ew. So guys, I'm just proposing we need to impose a very high standard for the quality of sinks, toilets, water fountains, soap dispensers, hand sanitizer dispensers, paper towel dispensers, etc. So we need to vote for politicians that are willing to make our concerns into law, so that everywhere we go, whether we're using a bathroom at home, or whether we're using a kitchen, or whether in home and or public, or we're using a public restroom, going to the bathroom is a comfortable experience and an enjoyable experience, and we feel very clean. So, here's what we need to do. We need to first mandate that all sinks must be manual, no automatic, manual. They must have a lever valve for cold water and a lever valve for hot water, and they actually need to work, because I've been to Red Robin, bro, and like they had manual sinks, but for some reason out of both the hot water valve and the cold water valve, the water coming out was still burning hot in both cases. Like, get that fixed. Like, the cold and hot water lever valves, they need to actually work. And also, the faucet needs to be long enough that we're not touching the side of the basin when we're washing our hands. And there needs to be enough distance between the floor of the basin and the faucet, so that we're not touching the inside of the basin, the bottom of the basin either, and thereby touching everybody's spit and boogers and food chunks and stuff while washing our hands. We also need to mandate that all soap dispensers and hand sanitizer dispensers are manual, not automatic, and that the soap that comes out, or hand sanitizer, it smells great and it feels great with great texture, and people are not allowed to put water in the soap or hand sanitizer either to dilute it, which is messed up. We need to also mandate that all paper towel dispensers are manual, and they only have white paper towels, and we need to ban blow dryers. We should not have to be blow drying our hands in the bathroom. And moreover, we need to mandate that all toilets are manual, no automatic toilets allowed. We need to mandate that the sinks and soap dispensers and toilets and paper towel dispensers are all tall enough that adults can use them comfortably. And if children need to use them, we give them miniature staircases, no stools allowed, miniature staircases for them to stand on. Or we also have poles, poles and stuff for disabled people in wheelchairs, poles that they can climb and stuff. Or you know what I mean. But also, we need to mandate that for water fountains, so water fountains that people drink with their mouths, they must be manual. The water that comes out must be a nice thick blast out in the air. And it should be easy to press the buttons, to make the fountain come out. And speaking of which, all sinks, when we open up the sinks, when we turn the sinks on, the sinks, regardless of wherever we use them, the sinks must put out a very, very thick blast of water. There should be a lot of water, high water flow, volume, and pressure coming out, so that we actually feel the water, combined with temperature regulation so we can have proper cold water. That is the best sensation ever. And obviously, when we use a soap dispenser or a hand sanitizer dispenser, a good amount should come out. It shouldn't be a tiny amount that we need to spend an hour or use 10 pushes for. A good amount should come out. When we flush a toilet, it should all go away. We shouldn't have to flush 10 times. The toilets should have a lot of water. If we use a shower, there needs to be a lot of water coming out of the showers, because I don't know how public showers are. I've never used one, but I imagine they might also have this problem of not enough water coming out. So we need to fix this. And we need to also... And we need to mandate that all toilets are manual. Wait, did I say this already? Sorry, guys. I feel so strongly about this, and I want to make sure that I'm relaying my message. I might find myself repeating myself. All toilets manual, all paper towel dispensers manual, no blow dryers. All manual sinks, manual soap dispensers, manual hand sanitizer dispensers. For water filling free stations, for stations for filling up our water bottles, must be enough distance between the place that we rest our water bottle on and the place where the water comes out. And this is the only place where I'm willing to tolerate automatic. It should allow automatic, but there should be redundancy with a button to press in case the automatic fails. But yes, we need high water pressure coming out of sinks, out of shower heads, out of toilets, out of water fountains and water bottle dispensers. We need very good, nice smelling, nice texture soap to use. No diluting, no putting water to dilute it. No cheapskates. There should be punishments for people doing this. Water, and also there needs to be sinks good enough distance between the basin and the faucet, and the faucet needs to be long enough so we're not touching the bottom of the basin or the side of the basin. The valves need to be levers, and they need to be very, very easy to use, not hard to put out. One valve for cold water, one for hot water. They need to work. And wait, Waddles, another thing. People are so disgusting. We need to be putting signs everywhere, inside and outside bathrooms. We need to be putting signs telling people, if you need to spit or do anything, you must do it in the toilet. You only spit and vomit in the toilet. No spitting and vomiting allowed in the sink. And preferably not in the trash can either. This is so disgusting, and there should be consequence for this. People should not be allowed to freely spit in sinks and in trash cans. They should only be doing it in the toilet. They should do it in the toilet, and they must flush. They must flush the toilet after they spit and or vomit in it. So we need to launch a public health campaign to tell people, hey, we're aware that what you are doing is disgusting, and you will face consequences if you don't do the right thing. There should be no more spitting food chunks or boogers or just plain saliva or vomiting in our sinks. I don't want to see any more food chunks or boogers or whatnot. I get traumatized every time I see people spitting, not just in the trash can or the sink, but also outside on the grass. Like, if you're outside and you're spitting on the grass or the road, like if it's an emergency, like you got a hair in your mouth or a tonsil stone, fine. But please do not do that, and there should, otherwise, if you don't need to, and there should absolutely be consequences for that. All spitting and vomiting must be done in the toilet. All food chunks you need to spit out, all boogers, all mucus, all saliva, all vomit, all that in the toilet, and you must do this thing called flushing. Sinks and trash cans and floors, whether inside or outdoors, the ground, off limits. Just toilets, please. Stop being so fucking disgusting, people, please. And also, stop vaping in the bathrooms. Come on. China has the death penalty for drug trafficking and drug smuggling and illegal drug manufacturing. And meanwhile, we can't use the bathroom here in the United States without people constantly vaping. There needs to be capital punishment for this kind of behavior. Please, I don't need to smell your vapes. Your vapes smell like cough medicine coming out of somebody's butt. So please stop vaping. And please stop smoking weed in the bathroom. Please stop smoking weed too. Why do you people like that stuff so much? You should be getting the death penalty for that stuff, just like you would in China, okay? Please, please, please. Alright guys, I hope that's it for our complaints about public restrooms, and not just restrooms, again, facilities anywhere, whether in a kitchen or whether in a household bathroom or anything really. But yeah, if there is anything else that we feel strongly about, we'll let you guys know. We'll let you know. We'll make other videos if needed about it. If a new complaint comes up and we see new issues with stuff, especially public restrooms. So guys, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, check out all of our content. Click that notifications bell so you never miss another video, and help us win the YouTube arms race against Mr. Beast by making us the first YouTube channel in world history to get over 1 billion subscribers. This has been J. Edgar Vacuum Cleaner and the Angry Birds family. Peace!